Hey friends, welcome back to the Disney Magical Mindset Podcast. My name is Ruben, your Disney Magic mentor, and today we're diving into something that's a little dark, a little fun, and 100% real life. Disney villains. I know many of you love the Disney villains. This is the time of year they shine. Maleficent, Ursula, Cruella de Vil, Hades, Scar, Jafar, Hook, the evil queen, and all the Disney villains you can think of. They're wicked, stylish, and kind of magnetic, aren't they? But here's the thing about these villains. Their main job, you know what their main job is? To make the hero rise. And I know it doesn't kind of make sense because it doesn't sound like that's the job they sign up for, but that's exactly what happens in these Disney movies. And you know the thing about villains? Life has villains too. And you know these villains because we all experience them. Villains like the circumstances that we engage in that happen to us every day, the struggles, the heartbreak, fear, and sometimes life deals you a rough hand. The cards aren't fair. Some people get better ones. But here's the kicker. I need you to hear this today. You can't control the cards. You can only control how you play them. But the real question we're going to ask today is this. Are you living your story as the hero or the victim? Yeah, that's what I want to address today. This is so important. It's going to be one of those like real talk, and it may be even difficult as we get through this podcast today. But I say this because I care for you and I love you and I want to see you thrive and shine in life. So if you're ready, let's do this, because here we go. Now let's talk about Disney villains. You love them. Many of you do. In fact, it's the reason why a land is coming. A Disney land that is dedicated to villains is coming to Walt Disney World. Because we all love the Disney villains. We resonate with them. They're part of the story. And without a Disney villain, or any villain for that matter, in a story, there is no story. It's the Disney villains that we love and admire that also cause the hero to rise. The hero doesn't rise if there is no conflict, if there is no villain. It's the villain that pushes and causes the hero to shine. Isn't that kind of cool when you put that in perspective and you begin to see the villain for who they are and what they actually do? They're there to cause the hero to shine. Ooh, I need you to, I hope you caught that today. And for many of us, we want to run from the difficulties and run from the villains and run from the pain, but it's the actual villain that causes us to go higher than where we currently are. See, the Disney villains, just think about your favorite Disney villain, they crank up the stakes. Without them, the story falls flat. It does. I mean, Hook pushes Peter Pan to lead. If it wasn't for Captain Hook, there would be really no Peter Pan. And as much as I love Peter Pan, I really do. That's my favorite character. But Hook is the reason why Peter Pan is who he is and the things that he does and the way that he shines and flies. And do you hear what I'm saying? Think of Jafar. He makes Aladdin brave. Scar forces Simba to grow. He's got to come back and take the throne from his uncle. And he was running for a large portion of, remember, Simba's life. He didn't want to come back. I mean, think of these characters as reminders of the obstacles in your life, the tough stuff that give your story meaning. They make your victory real. And without these villains, there is no story. So I hope that you are hearing this today, that the villains make the story. All right? Okay. Whew. Hang with me. Here we go. The story of your life story, my life story is filled with different villains. right? We've addressed some of those villains, the heartache, the heartbreak, the fear, the struggles, the pain, the sorrow, like all of that in life that we experience. Like when we come out of that Disney bubble and then it hits us. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And here's the fact that sometimes it's just hard to embrace. But again, I say this in love. I want you to feel this today. And I want you to hear what your pal Ruben is saying. Every human being is dealt a different hand. Some people are holding aces, and others, they got the lower numbered card, and sometimes you can't swap those cards, and you can't control the hand that's in someone else's, the card that's in someone else's hands, or the resources or the support system. Is just reality that some people, I think we just have to embrace the reality that there are people that are going to have better hands than you. They're going to have higher cards. They're going to have an ace while you have a number 3. And I just don't want you to waste your energy wishing for their hand, because it's pointless, because you can't get that hand. You can't get that hand. You can't control that. And that's an insult to what you can actually do. To try and yearn or hope for someone else's better hand is an insult to who you are. You are awesome. You are great. You have everything you need to do what you need to do. And wishing that you had someone else's hand is just going to cause you to waste unnecessary energy instead of using that energy to do what you know in your heart you've been born to do. Your job is not to stare at somebody else's cards. It's to play your hand, right? It's to play the deck that has been handed to you. One of the things that me and my family will do on Saturday nights is we head over to my mom and dad's house, and it usually involves playing Texas Hold'em, playing some poker. And we've been doing that for years now. We play for fun, and it's just it's a great time for the family to just enjoy one another. But here's what I've learned. Even if I don't have the best hand, like the best cards, and it feels sometimes like I'm losing, I have come back to win the game because I knew that my game wasn't over just because I got a deck of cards or a hand that didn't look good or wasn't favorable. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, I just kept going, and I surprised myself that there were times when I would win, even though it seemed like I was losing. So here's what I'm saying to you. Nobody, especially professional poker players, they're not looking at their deck of hands and just feeling like it's all over with. They're going to do everything they can to win the game with the hand that they've been dealt. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you give up too early and you lose in that game that we call poker. Let's just say poker, because of the hand that you've been dealt, instead of hanging in there and perhaps even surprising yourself that you end up coming back and winning because you didn't give up, because you learned to use the deck of the hand that was given to you. And isn't this why we love those comeback stories, and why we love the underdog, and why we love the hero that looks like he's losing? Because we love to see them shine. And you have to understand today that the villain of your story, the villain in the Disney stories we love, are there to cause the hero to shine. Don't ever forget that. So your job isn't to stare at somebody else's cards. It's kind of cheating, actually, by the way. It's to play yours like a pro, like the hero that you are. And you know the thing about heroes? They don't whine about the deck. They strategize. They adapt. They use every card, even the bad ones. Come on now, to move forward. Life's not about fairness. It's really about how we respond. So the question becomes, are you going to respond like a victim or like a hero? Here's the real talk. You ready for it? Here we go. Every hero in Disney, and every hero in life for that matter, they all have something in common. They refuse to stay the victim. They refuse to allow their past to dictate their present and their future. They refuse to allow their past to serve as an excuse or a crutch for their behavior today. They get knocked down, yes, but they get back up. They believe the story isn't over yet. And as I continue to study the life of Walt Disney, it's clear this amazing man got knocked down so many times. But he was going to continue to believe that his story was about him being the hero, not the victim. It was him thriving and using the obstacles and the challenges to cause him to press forward and into his destiny, into his dream, into his future. I want to share a little bit about my own life, and many of you who've been joining me on this adventure probably have heard me share before about my dad and about the challenges he faced in his life with drug addiction and just the pain of him, not coming home on weekends or leaving and going away for days before he returned. And that was just kind of my life. Growing up, that was my experience. And I know if I were to talk to many of you, you too have some painful experiences. And I want you to know that I, for one, am not saying that, and I'm not trying to in any way take away from the trauma and the pain and the agony that you encountered as a kid or earlier in life. It's so hard. And I just want you to know that I'm in your corner, and I also understand that pain. I understand what it's like to live with this fear and this guilt and this horror in your heart that somehow I was responsible for the actions of my father. So I'm in no way saying that. I'm just telling you that I knew that I could not use what happened in my past to somehow cause me to stop living today. I had to stop blaming the past or my father or anything that happened back there, because I knew it wasn't going to serve me well today. And I'm just here to encourage you and to tell you that all of us at some point, yes, I've been there. We've been there. I've played the victim. And I've played that story, and for a moment maybe it was like, yeah, I needed it and it felt okay, but I knew that it couldn't get me to where I was going, because playing the victim will only get you so far. Because at the end of the movie, it's the hero who gets the applause. It's the hero who gets the praise. It's the hero who wins the day, and everybody looks at the hero and they're just encouraged by the hero. It's not the victim. And again, please hear me. It's not to take away from what you experience. I hope that you hear my heart today. It's just to say that the stories we remember are the ones who turn their experiences of being a victim to becoming the hero of the story. That's what we remember. That's what causes people to be inspired. That's what causes people to say, yes, I can do it too. And that's why I'm telling you, because I've been there. And I look at my mother, who was able to rise and to shine and to not allow the pain of her past to somehow cause her to stop being a mother and being a father, for that matter, and being successful in her life. Like, I'm so thankful. So I'm here to just tell you, you can do it, and I believe in you. And I want you to know that you are a hero. You are the hero of your story. And the only villain that you have to worry about is the villain in your mind that tells you you're not the hero. No, that's the villain you got to squash. And that's the villain I'm here to help you silence today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Oh, I hope you're encouraged today. So when I say victim, I want you to know that I'm talking about the mindset, because that's what we're here, right? The Disney magical mindset. I'm talking about the mindset where life is something that just happens to you. right? Where you're blaming a person or a circumstance or the past. And yes, we've addressed life is unfair sometimes. And some of you have faced more than anyone should. And I'm so sorry. But when I think of heroes, and that's who you are, they refuse to stay down. You are a hero. You change the narrative. You change the story. Heroes take the pain and turn it into a mission to help others, right? And inspire others along the way. So how do you step out of victim mode and into hero mode? First, you got to call out your villains. What are the things that you believe are keeping you stuck? What are the villains? Fear. Maybe it's comparison or a rough past, or maybe it's a person. I don't know who that villain is, but name them, because Disney villains always have a name, right? I just experienced Oogie Boogie Bash with a family a couple weeks back, and and I saw many of those villains that have names: Hook, Scar, Cruella, Hades. Who else? A Syndrome, a new character was there. Maleficent. They all have names. You need to know what you're up against. Name it, and then next, you got to remind yourself: the hero doesn't wait for rescue. Ooh, I'm gonna say that again. The hero doesn't wait for rescue. The hero creates change. So stop blaming the tools, the timing, the people. You got to ask, what's one action you can take? What's one action I can take today? Personalize it to move forward. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be something as small as sending an email, or maybe signing up for that course, which, by the way, here coming up soon in the fall, I'm going to be having my first online magical mindset course. I can't wait. I'm super excited for that. Maybe it's having the hard conversation, or perhaps it's seeking therapy. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to move yourself in the direction and position yourself to be the hero. The point is, you got to move. And remember this: people rally behind heroes. They do. Because as much as we love the villains, the truth is we love the heroes more. I know, and maybe you want to argue with me and say, no, but I like this villain. I get it. They're pretty cool. But the reality is we love the heroes because they're what ultimately make the story. Because the hero looks like they're losing. The hero looks like they are falling and failing. But they rise and they shine because of the villain. People always want to help someone who's fighting for something bigger than themselves. I've seen it before. And you probably can attest to this. I've seen it in my own life. People are willing to fight for something bigger than themselves. You'll attract people. The heroes attract allies, the support and opportunities when you stop waiting to be saved and start acting like the hero of your own story. Someday my prince will come. No. Yeah. And by the way, I love Snow White. Please, I'm not knocking. That's the first Disney animated film is amazing. And as much as we love Snow White, we're not waiting for the prince. We're not waiting for the hero. You've got to be the hero of your story. All right? So here's my challenge for you this week. Think about your story. Are you letting the villains win? Or are you stepping into your hero role? It's your choice. Villains make the story interesting, but you know what? Heroes make it inspiring. Remember, the villains are there to cause the hero to shine. That's it. And the heroes are the ones who shine and inspire others. If nobody's told you today, I hope you'll hear me say this. I see a hero in you. I want to say that again. I see a hero in you. So keep going, keep growing, and keep writing a story worth cheering for. Because as Walt Disney once said, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. I want to thank you so much, my dear friends, for listening today. If this episode hits home, can you share it with a friend, please, who needs this reminder too? And if you've not done so already, please subscribe to this podcast. Submit a review. That would mean so much to me. I drop a new episode every single week to keep your inner hero fired up. As always, you are the magic, because the magic is in